Number 15. Floyd Mayweather, $450 million net worth. Floyd Mayweather started boxing in 1996 and signed with the promotion company Top Rank. Fighting under the Top Rank brand for 10 years, he earned the nickname Money as he generated massive amounts of money from his 24 million pay-per-views. Ironically, Floyd wasn't making much money despite his nickname and the cash he brought into Top Rank. Despite generating billions of dollars for Top Rank, he had a non-changing salary of $1 million per year, and once his pay-per-views surpassed everyone else, he negotiated for a raise. But Top Rank declined Floyd's salary raise, and the boxer left the company to start his own business, Mayweather Promotions. This plan worked out great because after establishing his company, Mayweather started doing his own promotions, booked bigger fights, and reached an unbeatable score of 50-0. Since then, he amassed a net worth of $450 million across his business, boxing earnings, and real estate investments. Number 14. David Beckham, $450 million net worth. David Beckham has quite the history of transfers across various football teams. However, it was his first team, Manchester United, that changed his life. Manchester United scouts discovered Beckham when he was 11. He had just won a school soccer competition and was on his awarded trip in Barcelona, where the talent scout took notice of his skills. That was when Beckham's life changed forever, because not only did he secure a spot with a very prominent team and started climbing the ladder of fame, but he also met his future wife thanks to Manchester United. His now wife Victoria came to a Manchester United match in 2007, and the two met in the Players' Lounge after the game. Their relationship later led to other business deals and income sources, like the $1.7 million check they got from Vogue in exchange for their wedding photos. Number 13. Cristiano Ronaldo, $500 million net worth. While it's easy to assume that Ronaldo is among the richest athletes, his net worth is only a fraction of our upcoming athletes. However, he still stands out as a footballer. What makes Ronaldo more different than the other footballers is that he's as business savvy as it gets. Ronaldo has successfully translated his football success into business success.
We shared this stage 15 years, me and him. I don't know if it's ever happened in football.
And trademarked his name, along with phrases that include his jersey number and nicknames. Therefore, aside from making money out of brand deals and football paychecks, he also earns money from several locations that were named after him. Currently, there's a Portuguese museum, an airport, and even a galaxy named after the all-time highest goal scorer. All these things, along with real estate, yachts, and private jets, chip in to make his $500 million net worth. Number 12. Roger Staubach, $600 million net worth. Despite having a more niche audience across rugby fans, Roger Staubach has managed to accumulate a net worth that surpasses even some of the legendary athletes. Referred to by the nicknames Captain America and Roger the Dodger, the quarterback had a lifelong goal from the start, creating a sustainable living for himself. Which is why, unlike other athletes in the NFL, Roger took up a second job when he wasn't playing as the team's best quarterback and got into real estate. Roger's rugby salary was considered hefty for the time period in which he was active. However, it wasn't until the end of his career that he was making 7 figures a year, and so a venture into real estate became necessary. But what started out as a side gig turned into his full-time income after retirement and made him more money than his rugby career had. Today, Roger's net worth is $600 million, and it largely comes from real estate investments of all kinds. Next up at number 11 is Lionel Messi, $600 million net worth. Lionel Messi is easily one of the best or even the best player to ever exist. Yet, even his net worth isn't as big as some of the athletes we'll mention soon. But while he's the proud owner of a $600 million net worth now, he's broken several awards records including most goal contributions and most player of the match awards. Messi's initial journey to stardom wasn't smooth sailing. Messi's fascination with football started at an early age, and it was soon evident that this little boy had talent. However, tragedy struck at age 11 when he came home with a diagnosis of growth hormone deficiency. This diagnosis meant that he was going to be significantly shorter and perhaps weaker than his contemporaries. But the deficiency wasn't strong enough to deter little Leo from chasing his dreams of becoming a pro football player. Messi trained strenuously while his father worked to find a football sponsor to pay for his growth hormone treatments. Finally, Football Club Barcelona agreed to pay for the treatments on the condition that Messi moved to Spain and trained with their youth club until he could join the league. Following these instructions, Messi made his debut in 2004. Since then, he has won 7 Ballon d'Or awards and 2 Golden Ball World Cups, eventually raising his salary to $75 million per annum. But if Messi were to accept some of the absurd sums that some clubs offered for him, Messi could have made additional $631 million, according to the contract from Hebei China Fortune, which he'd never signed. Number 10. Junior Bridgman, $600 million net worth. Basketball changed Bridgman's life as the only son of an average-income family. But he wasn't on par with talents like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, so even after long years in the game, he never made more than $350,000 per year. Since the NBA player wasn't making nearly enough in comparison to his contemporaries, he took his off-seasons to work at the local Wendy's restaurant and study their business model. Like Roger Staubach, Bridgman's side gig turned into his brightest business investment.
To run it. I don't really want to run it, but I just hopefully successful and you'll start sending me a check every month or something like that.
Bridgman acquired his first franchise in Milwaukee towards the end of his NBA career. Since then, he has purchased 262 more Wendy's chains and went on to invest in 123 Chili's franchises. Other business ventures of the former NBA player include buying Ebony and Jet magazines out of bankruptcy and owning a Coca-Cola bottling and distribution company in Kansas. These investments helped him skyrocket his net worth to $600 million, making him the 4th richest basketball player in the world. At number 9 is Eddie Jordan, $600 million net worth. A former Irish race car driver, Eddie Jordan has many income sources that contribute to his net worth. The racer is also a motorsport team owner, television personality, musician, and businessman, truly a jack of all trades. But that's not to say that one of Ireland's top racers hasn't made a significant income from his original career path. Ireland's very own motorsport superstar began his racing career in the late 60s, but soon realized that his true talent was in team management. He took the next 2 decades founding his own team, Eddie Jordan Racing. After the team achieved considerable success and won several trophies, the Irish business mogul decided to take things even further and start a Grand Prix team. Unfortunately, Jordan's second team never won any trophies, and he sold the rights to Jordan Grand Prix, but even the effort was enough to further establish his prominence in the motorsports world. Number 8. Earvin Magic Johnson, $628 million net worth. Like many other athletes on our list, Earvin Johnson also had a long-time passion for his niche before he became one of the most renowned basketball players in the world. The pro athlete spent his younger years practicing basketball on his own and even dribbling balls during his grocery store runs. His passion grew with him, and by age 15, he was good enough to capture the attention of sports writers and news outlets. In fact, 15 is the age when he earned his renowned nickname Magic, which he held onto despite his devout mother's distaste toward the concept. Today, he has a company which provides high-quality products to ethnically diverse and underserved communities under the same nickname. It's through that company, alongside basketball paychecks, that he has made his $630 million net worth.
Well, when you're good friends, you don't care about his money.
I see.
I just want the clothes and the sneakers.
Next up at number 7 is Michael Schumacher, $780 million net worth. Michael Schumacher is considered to be one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time, and he owes his $780 million net worth to his successful career and ad revenues. Looking at his career history, the former athlete has won 91 Grand Prix races and 7 Formula One championships. But what many people don't know is that Michael owes his race car success to a starter job that he took when he was younger. One of Michael's first jobs was at a go-kart shop, where he worked as a mechanic and learned how to fix and maintain different car parts. This helped him familiarize himself with the inner workings of a race car and gain an edge over his competitors. As a result, Michael was able to settle into a championship-winning pace and become an all-rounder in the industry. But his maneuvering skills on the racetracks couldn't protect Michael from his tragic skiing accident, where the pro racer fell and hit his head against a rock, sustaining severe injuries and trauma. Luckily, he survived but wasn't able to return to his F1 career. Michael now leads a private and medically heavy life at home, where his family protects him to the best of their abilities. At number 6, we have LeBron James, $1.1 billion net worth. One of the NBA's most treasured acquisitions, LeBron James lives and breathes for the game of hoops. Unlike many other athletes on our list, the power forward hasn't retired yet, but that's partially because he was discovered so early on. LeBron found that he had a passion for basketball at the age of 9, thanks to his mother's housemate and basketball coach, Frankie Walker. That's when he picked up on leisurely training and carried a burning desire with him for years. Once he was in high school, it was clear to everyone around him that LeBron would eventually play in the big league and become the best. By the age of 18, LeBron was finally drafted into the NBA and became the youngest player drafted by the NBA as their number 1 pick.
Look at all the green and black jerseys as he drives.
From that point onwards, LeBron's career was set for success. Since then, he's won several awards and closed brand deals with industry leaders like Nike, contributing to his $1.1 billion net worth. Number 5. Tiger Woods, $1.1 billion net worth. Tiger Woods is more than just a billion-dollar golf legend. He's also a great example of self-discipline and willingness. During his lengthy career in golf, Tiger won many tours, Grand Slams, and individual games, some of which led to knee injuries. But it was thanks to his self-discipline that he was able to stay in the game despite several surgeries and other procedures, because even when his doctors advised Tiger not to lift weights or run, he still found a way to stay active. Since he couldn't go on his infamous runs for a while, he took to cycling during his recovery period. When he got back on the field, it was like he'd never undergone surgery to begin with. This determination to stay on top of his game and look out for his health continued to win him many games. And while Tiger also made some extra cash from endorsements, it was still his golfing career that eventually earned him a good majority of his $1.1 billion net worth, which makes him the only athlete on our list to earn $1 billion from their sports career. Number 4. Ion Siriac, $1.3 billion net worth. Ion Siriac is a name that only a select few have heard of, but despite his unpopularity in tennis, his net worth is higher than some of the well-known athletes on our list. So, what does he owe his wealth to? This ex-tennis Hall of Famer began playing in the 60s, but later decided to end his tennis career for ice hockey. Siriac continued his sportsmanship as a hockey player for a while and even represented Romania in the Winter Olympics. When the time came for him to quit ice hockey as well, Siriac decided to go back to what he knew and started focusing on the business side of tennis. Since this business decision, he has closed some of the most lucrative deals in tennis history for Boris Becker and made enough money to increase his net worth to the billions. Number 3. Anna Kasperzak, $1.5 billion net worth. There seems to be a pattern with the lesser-known athletes making more money, because despite not being a well-known athlete, Anna Kasperzak boasts a net worth 3 times as big as that of Cristiano Ronaldo. Anna is one of the best dressage riders of our time and has won multiple medals throughout her career, making it hard to believe that she was able to avoid the spotlight. But Anna remains unrecognizable because, despite representing Denmark in the Olympics between 2012 and 2016, she has never won a single medal. Regardless, her wealth puts even Serena Williams to shame. But unlike Serena, only a tiny portion of Anna's billion-dollar wealth is generated from prize money. Anna's mother is the CEO of a renowned shoe brand in Denmark called Ecco, and Anna, along with her brother, is on the supervisory board of the company. Considering that Ecco products are being sold across the world for an average price of $200, Anna is bound to make a pretty penny from this innovative footwear brand. At number 2 is Michael Jordan, $2 billion net worth. While most sources claim that Michael Jordan is the richest athlete in the world, he ranks second with a net worth of $2 billion, which isn't all too bad after all. But while it's easy to believe that Michael made his billions from brand endorsements combined with several NBA paychecks, his wealth relies on acquiring other basketball teams. In fact, he earned his billionaire status by acquiring the Charlotte Hornets in 2014. This proved to be a very successful business venture down the line, because even when every other billionaire was losing money earlier this year due to inflation, shaky stock markets, and the war in Europe, Michael's net worth increased by $300 million thanks to the Hornets gaining more value. And here we are at number 1, Vince McMahon, $3.1 billion net worth. Vince McMahon is an ex-wrestler who owes his $3.1 billion net worth to WWE, a company owned by his absent father. His father left when Vince was a baby, taking his older brother along and building WWE from the ground up. However, he came back into Vince's life after a time. Despite not knowing his father for the first 12 years of his life, Vince had heard the name and seen the news. So when Vince McMahon Sr. knocked on his door, young Vince had already been in love with wrestling and begged his father for a job at WWE. After resisting his son's request for a while, Vince McMahon Sr. eventually gave in and offered his son a job. Starting out as a ring announcer, Vince found himself surrounded by pro wrestlers in 1969. In the following years, he managed to become a commentator and then decided to buy the WWE company from his father. Almost 2 decades after his new acquisition, the impresario decided to enter the ring himself under the name Mr. McMahon, which led to 2 championship wins, a Royal Rumble win, and multiple pay-per-view headlines. However, his wrestling career was short-lived because Vince stepped off the ring in 2001 and went back into the business management side of things. Out of this interesting mix of athletes, whose net worth surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to see more about sports, you can watch our video about the richest basketball players in 2023. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.